Oh, hello.
Hi, Miguel
Good morning.
Ibarra.
Yes.
Okay, that's great. My name is Daniel Cisneros. I'm a case manager here at Tropical Texas Behavioral Health Center. What we're going to be doing today is going over an intake interview. For the intake interview is to see whether you qualify to receive services from our center.
Okay.
Before we do that, I am going to provide you with an informed consent form. What this is basically just a form that I need you to sign, and it's stating the agreement that we're going to have, including confidentiality. So any information you give me is going to stay between me and you. There is, however, limitations to this. If I feel that you give me information that is putting yourself in danger or others, I'm going to have to break the confidentiality agreement.
Okay. I understand. Yes, sir.
So can you go ahead and look over that, and whenever you're ready, just sign it in the back. If you have any questions, let me know.
Okay. Yes, sir.
And I will be providing you with a copy at the end of the intake interview.
Okay.
All right. So Miguel, can you tell me the reason for why you're seeking services here today?
I suffer from PTSD, and I was referred for services here.
Okay. Who exactly referred you to services here in Texas Tropical?
Well, I was in the military, and it took them about 9 years for them to put me in a support group and get me medication. So I didn't feel like I was getting any help.
Mm-hmm.
So I went back to my doctor, and they referred me to Texas Tropical.
Okay. So you did get a diagnosis from a doctor in the military?
Yes.
Okay. And the disability that you're currently living with, did you receive any treatments for that while in the military?
Well, like I said, it took them 9 years after I started having the symptoms of PTSD for them to have me in a support group.
Okay.
It started, I've been in the military for 15 years. Initially, it started with my friend committing suicide in front of me. He put a gun to his mouth and blew his brains out.
Okay.
And I was left there to clean up the mess.
Mm-hmm.
And I started having trouble sleeping. And shortly after that, I was in an incident with 5 other soldiers, at which they were all killed with bomb explosions. Their body parts were everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I was left there for hours as well to pick up the body parts. I didn't know what I was picking up anymore, if there were limbs or arms. And I still have dreams where I can see myself, and my main priority was trying to conserve what was left of them. So I have a lot of trouble sleeping and a lot of trouble coping and being around people. So I really feel like I need to get some help.
Okay.
The medication is not doing enough. Sometimes I have to self-medicate with marijuana because I feel like a zombie when I take the medicine, and it's not doing everything for me. My first marriage ended because of this. I'm on my second marriage, and I don't want it to end, so I need the help.
Okay, I'm just going to go over a few key points that you gave me from that initial statement. So you told me you were receiving medication. Was this while you were in the military?
Yes.
Okay. And what were some of the symptoms that came from the medication? I'm assuming the symptoms were the ones you didn't like while taking, or what other factors?
It's just, it doesn't feel like I'm myself. When I have my episodes, sometimes I'll be out for hours. I don't even know if it's been days. Sometimes I need people to come and let me know that it's real, that I'm not asleep.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes I don't know for how long I'm gone. My wife has to remind me that it's not a dream. And the medications, when I take them, they just make me want to sleep all the time. So that doesn't help because I don't know if it's a dream or if I'm actually asleep or awake. And I feel a lot of cotton mouth. I feel anxiety. I feel paranoid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trusting of anything around my home. I actually try to stay at home as much as possible to avoid confrontations in public because I tend to get very aggressive, or not aggressive, but excited when there's too many people around. I don't know how to act around that. I feel like it takes me right back to that moment around all the explosions and gunfire and blood, and I don't like it.
Okay. So it's combination of both physical and cognitive symptoms that you experience with the medications?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Um, so let's go over because of the of your disability of PTSD. Tell me a little bit about the impairments or functioning issues in your day-to-day life. And these issues can be very minor or extreme.
I think the biggest issue is being able to do things with my kids. I missed out on a lot of their school activities. As a matter of fact, the greater majority of their school activities because I can't be around people. So I always have to watch things on video after they've happened. And I'm pretty sure my kids don't like that very much. And I don't do anything with my wife because I don't like to be out in public. So I spend a lot of time alone in my garage, away from everyone, including them. I don't have a relationship with
I think it's good.
my mother because she thinks I'm just crazy. She doesn't understand that it's an illness or a disability that I'm dealing with. And definitely my relationship with my siblings doesn't exist because they don't understand what I'm going through. The only one that I have a decent relationship is with my wife because she's also a military veteran and she also suffers from PTSD, so she knows what I'm going through.
Okay, so it seems that your wife is a strong motivation for you, but however you do notice that you distance yourself from your family.
That's
correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Miguel, tell me a little bit about any past medical history. This could be even before you served and before you obtained the PTSD. Any other medical or mental health disorders you have been diagnosed with?
I do have others. I don't wish to disclose them at this time.
Okay, that's perfectly fine.
My main focus here is to deal with my PTSD.
Okay. So, Miguel, you did tell me you have a little bit about your family. Is there any history of violence or abuse in your family? This could be past, present, or future.
No, actually, my father was very machista, but I grew up in a very loving, nurturing family. My mom was very loving. There was no abuse or drug use in my home. So, and I don't have a drug or alcohol problem either. So it's not anything of that. It has everything to do with the military and my experience there.
Okay. Miguel, let's talk about your education. So what's the highest institute of education that you have attended, or if you're currently attending any?
I am. I'm actually working on my master's in psychology.
Oh, okay.
And like I said, I did serve in the military for 15 years. So right now I'm just trying to finish off my master's.
Okay. Do you feel like that's like going to school is a motivating factor for you to get better as well?
Well, I'm very blessed that I'm able to take all of my classes online, so I don't have to expose myself to the public. But it is a great motivator because I feel like I still have a lot to offer the world. I just need to learn how to deal with my own personal issues in order so I can offer the best part of me to the world, not just, a little bit of me.
Okay. So, Miguel, was there any developmental issues growing up while you were attending school?
No, just, the usual boy stuff.
Yeah, okay. All right. So, what's your vocation, Miguel?
I am retired.
Okay.
So at this time, I do not have a vocation. I have a hobby. I build cars from scratch.
Okay.
Which I do in my garage, and that's my excuse for being there all the time. So.
Okay. So if you don't mind me asking, what's your source of income, Miguel?
I'm retired, so I do get my check, my retirement check. I'm also a disabled veteran, so I get that as well. I get my pensions.
Okay, well, I think that was a good amount of information I got for you for this intake. So because you did mention that you are retired and a disabled veteran, the payment services here at Texas Tropical Behavioral Health, what they are is that we do accept insurance plans, including Medicaid, Medicare. Many services are available on a sliding fee scale, so in many situations, the The payments aren't fixed. We will work with our clients and patients, and we don't refuse services to persons based on their inability to pay. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and input this information in our database, and I'm going to get back to you over the in a couple of minutes to let you know if you are eligible for services here. So is there any other questions, Mia, that you have before we conclude this interview that you might have for me?
No, that's it. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.